Hey guys, what's going on? This is Rick, the Middle Class Millennial, coming here today with a different topic on this channel. We're going to be doing a multi-part series on finishing this single car garage of mine from start to finish. I'll be going over pretty much everything that I'm going to be doing in this process along the way. Right now, as of the recording of this video, this garage is completely unfinished. The only thing that's been done were the studded walls and the roofing and the garage door. It hasn't really been touched other than that since it was built in the 1940s. So we're going to be putting some electrical in. We're going to be putting some heat in. We're going to be insulating the walls. We're going to be putting some drywall up and hopefully some shelving and things like that. So I'll be going over through that with you guys in this series. So I'm excited to start this series out, but want to make one thing perfectly clear, and that is that this is for entertainment purposes only. This is not a how-to video. Please consult your local laws in your areas and required permits to do these jobs. Take what you see in this video as a grain of salt, okay? Now anyway, let's go ahead and I'll show you guys what needs to be done here. All right, so first things first, what we're gonna be doing, I'm gonna be going ahead and removing this wall, this paneling. This is the siding of the house. This garage is attached to the house, but there's no direct entrance to it. That was actually an entrance to outside. It was not an entrance to the house. It had been sealed off when we purchased the house, so I ended up putting a back door over here. We're gonna be running our light circuit for our garage here. For the lights on the ceiling, I'm gonna be putting a floodlight out by the back door there. Also, we'll be running a floodlight, hopefully to the center of the garage door above. If there's support beams there and we can't, we'll be running it over there. We're running outlets along here. I'll be putting in a cadet wall heater down here on another circuit. So we'll have 3 circuits. We'll have a light circuit. We'll have a 20 amp 110 circuit. And then we'll have a probably another 20 amp, just 120 volt cadet wall heater circuit. There's another, actually there's a 4th circuit I'm gonna be putting in as well. On this wall here, I'll be putting in a 240 volt EV charger. We don't have an EV, but since I'm doing this garage, I might as well get it done since I have access to it. So anyway, so yeah, that'll be what we're planning on doing with the electrical. Then we'll be insulating the walls. I'm probably gonna be using rock wool to do that just because it doesn't typically rot. We do have an issue with water kind of running over here and getting this area wet, so I don't really know what I'm gonna see when I get in there. But that'll also prevent mold. But then we're gonna cover the entire face of the garage with this 5/8 drywall that I picked up for my work for free, thank God. And be covering that. I'll also be putting some baseboards down here and then putting silicone at the bottom to seal this off so any water that's in the garage cannot work its way in there. So yeah, we'll be doing that. So anyway, let's get started. We're gonna start by removing these panels right here. All right, I went ahead and I labeled each panel with the spray paint, the cheap little primer spray paint. It didn't seem like it worked very well with the 5. I kept trying to ooze and make a 6, so I had to keep redoing that. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get some battery powered light in here and get these doors closed and run a space heater in here because it's getting chilly in here. All right, now that we got some heat and some light in here, we're gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna cut the side of these panels off here on both ends. I got them numbered, so when I put them back in, I'll know where they're at. And then I'm gonna start pulling these individual nails out. We're gonna see what's behind this wall. Any black widows jumping out at me. Well, you can definitely tell somebody knocked a hole in the plaster on the other side and patched it up. You can see the patch in there too. We just got the wall gutted for the most part. We found some surprises. We found out that there's a cast iron tub to the bathroom down there. That's the bathroom tub. But this is a good opportunity because if you look, the exterior wall underneath there isn't insulated. And I know my wife was complaining how cold it gets in the tub once it's filled up with water because of the cold air around it. This is a good opportunity to kind of insulate around this tub a little bit when we finish this garage wall here. And then up here, I'll need to cut up along here and along here to get all this wood out with an oscillating saw. So that's probably the most time-consuming part of this project. But once we get there, we're pretty much ready to start running electrical. And it looks like it's going to be pretty easy because as you can see where I ran a box in here originally, there's a crawl space. So I'll be able to run my light circuits and stuff up through there and in these joists, no problem. So anyway, let's go ahead and get my shop vac out and clean some of this mess up. All right, now we got this area cleaned up and vacuumed up to where I need it now. But yeah, definitely, if you look down here, guys, I'm definitely going to be putting some rock wool in here to insulate this tub now that I vacuumed it out. Did find some rot here. I don't think it was the water actually running against this wall here. I think it was at one point the tub was leaking on the side there inside the bathroom. Keep in mind, when I bought the house, The bathroom was kind of moldy, and I fixed the problem. I did a bathroom remodel on it, so it's fine now. But that's the only issue I have. I might hit some crud killer or whatever it's called. I have some of that stuff. It kills mold and things like that, so I'll be spraying that down before we cover it up. But right now, even though it's not wet, I'm going to kind of let it air out. But anyway, first things first, we're going to go ahead and do the lighting circuit. I'm going to run my wire up through here. This goes into the crawl space. Up along this wall, I'm going to drill a hole up at the top here, run up along here, go down and around through the studs. We'll go to our first switch right here, which I marked 49 inches off the wall. That's the same, or top of the box is the same as in the rest of my house. And I'll be doing the same over here on this side of the wall, instead of over here, because I have a stud that looks like it's holding up the siding. So anyway, let's get started. All right, I already got my first box mounted. As you can see, it does have lips on the side here. This is for 1/2 inch drywall. I'm putting on 5/8, so I went ahead and put it a little bit further away from the wall. As you can see on here, it's kind of hard to tell, but you'll see these little grooves right here. This last groove here is for 5/8. So I just lined it up with that groove and then hammered it on there. And also, after you do that, just trust but verify, get yourself a chunk of 5/8 drywall and just kind of lean it up against that box there and see if it's flush, which this is, so I know it's mounted correctly. Next, we're going to be doing the light fixture mounts. I've decided that instead of the one that I had here originally, I'm going to put one on each side because we didn't quite have enough light in here originally. One right here, because I'm going to have a elongated LED mount, and then one right over here. And I found the sweet spot's kind of in the middle, elongated LED mount. I kind of went a foot off of the track there, and then thought I could move it in about a foot, and I decided the sweet spot was right there. And it's going to be elongated later. Right now, though, I'm just going to mount bulbs in. But after we get the insulation and stuff on, we put drywall, and then I'm going to put elongated 40-watt LED lights in here. Really put some light in here. And even though the garage is wider on this side than it is on the right side, I just thought it was a good idea to kind of line it up with the garage door. I just feel like it would look better that way than to have it lined up with the building itself, because then it'd be a little crooked to them. All right, I think I got it decently squared up. What do you guys think with the door anyway? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think below. I had to move this over a little bit because I felt it was too far that way. But I've always been told, I was told by a carpenter in my family, if it looks good, it is good when it comes to construction anyway. So, looks pretty good to me. I mean, yeah, if you want to put a laser on it, sure, it'll be off. But I think we mount the lights this way, I think they're going to look pretty good. All right, now that I got all my holes drilled for the most part, I'm going to do one more hole over here that I'm going to drill. It's going to be a 3/4 inch hole, and then I'll be able to use the existing holes that were drilled back when there was a light fixture in here back in the 1940s all the way down to that second 3-way switch over there. So I'll be able to run my 14-3 all the way through there that way. There we go. Trust but verify. Oh yeah, no problem. All right, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and drill into the crawl space so I can feed it through. I'm running a minimum of 3 circuits, so I'm gonna need at least 2 holes since I can only run 2 sets of Romex through each hole. And I know there's a joist right here, so I'm not gonna drill on that side. All right, now that we got our 2 holes, we're gonna go ahead and vacuum things up in here and get started running some wire. Before I feed wire, I'm gonna go ahead and set up all the boxes that I can right now before it gets dark. This wall is going to be weird. It's not just going to be 5/8, but I'm also going to put a 1/2 inch sheet over the top of this as well, because I have the boards up here that I'm going to leave intact is 5/8. But I'm going to put 5/8 down here, and then once I do that, I'm going to put a 1/2 inch sheet over the top of all of that. So I have to take these boxes out quite a ways in order for them to fit correctly. A little tighter than I like, but that'll work. By the way, in situations like this is where you want to have a helper feed wire for you, but because of privacy reasons on YouTube, I'm going to be doing this by myself today. Now that we got our electrical line ran and hooked up to the J-box in the crawl space, we're going to go ahead and staple this up before I hook it into the junction box there. All right, now we got our lighting set up. I went ahead and wired them up and I got them running. And it's running on a 3-way switch setup, as you can see here. I got my other switch over here in the distance. Sorry I didn't showcase this, guys, but like I said, this isn't a how-to video. This is just me showcasing, finishing the garage, and showing you guys kind of what the general steps are to finishing this process. Because like I said, I'm not an electrician, so I just don't feel that I have the authority in a way to tell you guys how to do this, because the code may be different in your area. So keep that in mind, guys. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead, since we got the lights running, I'm going to finish doing my circuit on this side, then up to my garage outlet here, and then I'm going to start on this side. So the reason I'm going to do this first is so I can move all my drywall over to this side and then start doing all the outlet work on this side, and also running my second floodlight out to the front of the garage as well. And we'll get both of them hooked up, and I'll show you guys that process. And for outlets in this garage, I plan on putting in commercial grade outlets. This is the first time I've used commercial grade. It's got just these little tabs in here that you insert the wire and tighten it down, as opposed to residential grade where you got to put shepherd hooks on the side. You can also crick stab them or whatever they call this, but all the electricians in my family that I've spoken to do not recommend this method because the wire tends to overheat and work its way out. So the only time that people usually do this is during construction to save time. So anyway, yeah, we're going to be trying these out. These are supposedly more durable, a little bit more expensive, but since this is a garage, I'm going to be pulling a lot of heavy loads on these outlets in here more often than in the house, as opposed to like in the house you have a vacuum cleaner. So we'll see how these hold up. And if these hold up pretty good, I could totally see swapping out my kitchen outlets from this to commercial grade, definitely. So anyway, let's get going. All right, we got power in all the outlets. Lighting in the garage is running. They're all coming through. Well, the lighting's on a different circuit, but the outlets are being set by the GFCI circuit right there, all along here. And I recommend you guys get yourself a socket tester. These things are awesome. Just plug them right in, and it'll tell you, shows that it's correct, so no issues. And you can also have an audible alarm. And the best part is, if you hit this button, it'll create a ground fault and see if it works. And everything just shut off at that circuit right over there. So let me go ahead and reset it. There we go. It's clearly working, as you can see. Anyway, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and we're going to run our floodlight circuit from over here along here. Then come up and then through the side of the garage, through the center of the top, and put our floodlight in on the front and the back. Obviously, we're going to kill the lighting circuit to do that safely. But yeah, it's the last thing we got to do. And then obviously put our outlet covers on, and we'll be done with phase one. So as you can see, we got our front floodlight camera installed and running. We've got power to it. We have our rear back door floodlight camera installed and running as well. And all of the electrical in the garage is running and operational. We got our outlet covers on and our GFCI protected outlet stickers on all of these. So ready to go on that. And the last thing we got to do is electric heat. I still think I didn't get done electrical in here. All right, so that concludes part 1 of this installment. Stay tuned for part 2 where we're going to install electric heat and put an electric heat thermostat in and insulate the garage. Also, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. Also, if you guys like this kind of videos, the finishing projects and stuff videos, let me know in the poll in the community section on my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Comments are also welcome. If you don't like any of the choices, just feel free to leave a comment and let me know. So until next time, you guys take care.